Hi everyone, welcome. So happy to have you all. Uh, let's get into this reading. I'm sorry I'm a bit late. I was just recording videos for you all. Please like this on your way in. Hi everybody, welcome. So I'm sorry I'm a bit late. I always record videos beforehand, so sometimes I run a little late to start the live. I do have some great videos coming up very soon. So stay tuned for that. How's everybody doing? Grateful to have all of you that have joined in the chat. Hi Brianne, how are you? Nice to see you. Always nice to see you. So somebody, in fact, I've had a lot of commentary since my Diddy videos, especially recently. I think YouTube is like pushing them out more. So thank you, YouTube. But I wanted to look at the people around Diddy and what's going to be the outcome regarding them. Go back and watch my Diddy videos. I've been almost accurate. I said that in September. I did it actually Thanksgiving last year, 2023. And I said that he's going to be arrested in September. So I was accurate about the time. Almost everything I predicted has been accurate. So I want to do his associates, people that have been named in lawsuits and stuff like that, because I think the House of Cards clearly is falling. And I said that Cassie would be the beginning of many different things coming forward. And I do applaud Cassie a lot for coming forward. You know, some people are like, oh, stop trying to bring a black man down. This has nothing to do with race. In fact, since I've started doing these data videos, I've gotten a lot of, I think some of it's bots, really, but a lot of negativity. I've considered switching off the comment section, but instead, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to block those people. So if you write anything negative, I take constructive criticism. If you write anything negative and mean, I will block you from the channel. I don't need people to like me like that. Okay, so I appreciate people that join the community and are willing to have like open conversations, appreciate the art of tarot, that kind of stuff. But especially if you don't read tarot yourself and you're gonna tell me fake reading, stuff like that, I'm not down for that. Okay, so let's get into it. I am doing Diddy's associates. I'm gonna start with Ashton Kutcher. I am going to be honest with you guys. I'm not going to cover Cuba Gooding Jr. I wasn't going to say this on TV or whatever, on YouTube, on the internet, but I still kind of see, I don't want to say kind of see, I can't tell you guys how I see Cuba Gooding Jr., but I do in some capacity. So I cannot do a reading on him. I have a strict rule that if I know somebody or I come into contact with them frequently, I do not do readings on them because it's not fair to the person, and my personality, my personal views about them will be biased. So I always say that. So I want to be honest with you about, because Cuba Gooding Jr. has been, what's the word? He's been named in some of the lawsuits. There's been pictures of him and so forth. So I can't do a reading on him because I do come into frequency with him. And I don't want to give any opinions on him. Okay, so Brianne, what did you want to say? I wanted to know about me having Venus in Capricorn and Pluto. Okay, so we'll keep that to the end. So I have this thing. I'm more than open to talk about astrology. We do have another reading coming up later. So Brianne, I'm doing a full moon reading in the next live. I encourage you to join that live and we'll talk about all this stuff, because I decided to add more astrology stuff because a lot of you are interested in it and I do know a lot about astrology, so I'm going to add more of it into it. Okay, so let's start Ashton Kutcher. Let's talk about his chart. So he is a Sun in Aquarius. I didn't realize he's a February Aquarius. I always thought he was a January Aquarius. I used to have such a crush on Ashton Kutcher. In fact, he looks a lot like my high school situationship, should we call it. one of the worst people that I dated. I mean, it was high school, 20 years ago, so I shouldn't really hold on to it. But you just have those memories, and some things are harder to forgive. Let's just say that. So let's see. His sun is in Aquarius, moon is in Aquarius, his rising is in Gemini. I can see the Gemini placements, definitely. And it's Venus. So we have actually very similar charts, he and I. My sun, moon, Venus are Aquarius. My Mercury is in Capricorn. Interesting. But his Mercury being in Aquarius gives me the idea that he's not very blunt with people. People tend to think Aquarius are blunt, but we're actually not that blunt, because we tend to, especially male Aquarius, tend to kind of be very, which is what I don't like about male Aquarius. They can be very back and forth about situations, which is probably why he went back to his ex, Mila Kunis. Okay, so let's see. North Node in Libra, which means his interesting, which means that his South Node is in Aries. Okay. His South Node being in Aries implies to me that he is a very self-centered human being. Very sad. And he's supposed to think about things in like a balanced perspective, but he's very this is just what I pick up from his chart. Very he does things for his own purpose. I did say, if you guys haven't seen this, I did say a long time ago when I did my first Ashton Kutcher video, it's actually been very accurate. I rewatched it recently, and I said that he's going to have 2 major scandals. One of them was a Danny one, and I said there was another one coming after. And I think this is it. So let's see. I don't think it's the end of us hearing about Diddy and Ashton Kutcher. Let's see what is the truth behind these two. Their relationship. Also, I am very well aware that it has come to light that Diddy is bisexual. That's not for me to judge, and I don't like to out people. So if he did have sexual relations with another man, I prefer to keep that out of these readings. I am very sensitive, not because I am. If I were, I wouldn't care, but because I have a lot of friends that are gay and lesbian, and I just think about them. If they were younger or they were in the closet, I wouldn't want their story being told for them when it comes to that. I keep that very sacred. People's sexuality is a very sacred thing. And I think the fact that this Diddy thing has been made into, Diddy's secretly gay is a scandal. Being gay should not be the scandal. Trafficking should be the scandal, stuff like that. So I think it's unfortunate that people have gotten the plot wrong. So let's see I just want to say that if they have a relationship that is sexual, I will not be getting into it because that is none of my business. Okay, so let's get into this. Let's see. So what really went down with them? Okay, so Ace of Wands in reverse, 9 of Wands. So I get the energy that Ace of Wands in reverse, 9 of Wands, and the Hierophant. He saw Diddy as like this gatekeeper, that Diddy would help him get access to a lot of things. And because he's a very selfish, in fact, a lot of Aquarius can be like this. I'm a Sun Aquarius, and I'll call myself out. I'll call everybody out because I just tell the truth. Aquarius, if you've noticed, there's a lot of celebrity Aquarius that are very selfish. We can be very selfish. And lots of my personal growth story has been about giving to others, becoming more compassionate, which water signs and not really earth signs, water signs have taught me to be more compassionate. But Aquarius can be very selfish. And he is very selfish. And he was using Diddy to get him access to many different things, like clubs, access to money, access to investors, just access. He wanted to be on Diddy's level, So let's see what the outcome is of this, because I see the being an outcome. The outcome of Ashton Kutcher involved the Diddy trial. Ashton's gonna try to run. So, now I remember they did say that he's going to try to run to Europe. I don't know if he's necessarily going to run to Europe, but he is moving money around right now. I think he might have gotten some money from Diddy that is dubious, and he's trying to get rid of it. He feels Eight of Swords. You see how she's locked? He feels like that. He feels like he screwed me over. He might have like tainted. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a tape of Ashton. Let's just say that. I don't want to get too much into it because, like I said, people's sexuality is their own personal thing to tell. I don't like to do that. I really, really don't like that. You know, I hold sexuality very sacred, and especially when people have been going through issues within themselves where they feel like they could be bi, they could be gay. That's up to them. That's up to them to tell us. But I don't like to out people. I think it's very wrong. So the Ten of Swords, Strength, and the Temperance. He is going to try to make himself out to be the good guy. He's very good at that. I don't think it's going to work. It's not going to work because there's too many scandals. I see him and Mila moving, but I do ultimately see her leaving him. It's going to be too much for her. Especially Ten of Swords, Strength. This represents their energy. With her, she is a Sun and Leo. She's starting to look back at her relationship with him and she's like, all of it was a lie, you know? All of it was a lie. You're not really this person. Like, you have a dark side to you. And I would say that in his, Venus in Aquarius kind of, a lot of Venus in Aquarius. I'm Venus in Aquarius, so I can speak for this very strongly. We tend to not really love traditionally. You know, I don't know how to explain it. But we need our freedom, Venus in Aquarius. And we also tend to, especially men in Venus in Aquarius, they tend to have like weird kinks, if that makes sense. So she's starting to feel Mina, like she's being groomed, which I don't necessarily believe she's completely groomed, but she's starting to feel like, oh my gosh, I fell in love with this guy when I was so young. I didn't know anything. And especially because things are going to start coming out. In April, things are going to start coming out, especially about him. And about business ties. They had some business ties together. So that's what I see. Okay, let's move on. Who's next? Meek Mills. So I'm going to share the screen. Okay, let me share the screen. Oh my gosh. Okay, so his sun is in Taurus. Moon is in Leo. Actually, I don't like this version. I don't like Astro Chart. I like the other one. Excuse me, I don't like Astro Theme. I like Astro Chart. Because it gives you like the full wheel. It shows you like all the houses. Okay. Shows you the conjunct and all that stuff. Except this is very complicated. Doesn't have it written out. I haven't gotten that far into astrology yet. Let me see if I can read it. I do know how to read some, but just not like. Oh, here we go. So it's here. So his sun is in Taurus, Moon is in Leo, Mercury in Taurus, Venus in Aries. Interesting. His Venus in Aries implies to me that he always has to. He's like the young one in the relationship, when he's in a relationship. He's the young one. He's the one that brings energy. He's the one that brings life. And he tends to fall for more mature people. But the person that he's with romantically will have to be very patient with him. Very patient. Yeah. So that's what I have for you. So let's look at their relationship. Let's stick to. I'll use a different tarot deck. I'll use a good tarot for this one. So after this, I'm going to do like an astrology live. It's going to be so fun. I'm going to do full moon in astrology. If you're a member, you get to ask a free question. But if you're not, we'll just talk charts and stuff like that. Ask a free general question. Okay, so let's see. What's Meek Mill's and Diddy's relationship? Oh, thank you so much. Brianna says she loves watching my videos. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That means a lot to me. Especially recently, I've gotten not a lot, but just an influx of negative comments, especially regarding Diddy. It's really made me consider, like, should I keep doing Diddy? But it's very informative, and the Aquarius rebellious spirit in me is like, I'm not going to let them win. Sometimes not healthy. Okay, let's see. Meek Mill. What's their relationship? Again, I'm not revealing anything sexual. They can reveal that for themselves. Okay, so Hangman. They're not talking right now. Page of Earth. They're not talking. Because Meek Mill doesn't want the spotlight, fire on him. He's like, this is the thing that I learned about Hollywood. This is why I had to leave LA, right? There's a lot of fakers in LA, Hollywood, and I saw this with a close person. I don't want to say in what context that I know him. I don't want to say his name because I don't want to give too much of it away. But I saw with a person that I was very close with, he went through a lot of public scrutiny, and I saw a lot of people close to him distance themselves from him. And it was really kind of disappointing, because they're like, I don't want to be seen here. He's like, I don't want to be seen with this person. So he's keeping a distance, major distance. But let's see what the outcome is. Will he be involved? I'm telling you, April's going to be a big month. We're going to find out a lot. And then he's going to disappear, Diddy. I've said this before. April's going to be a big month. So let's see. I see Meek taking a plea deal. He's definitely been involved in this. I get him getting like 3 months, something like that. I get 3 months. I get 3 months very strongly. Transformation, will, temptation. He's going to go to some kind of, around December, he's going to go to some kind of rehab, some kind of rehabilitation place. Now, it is intuitive, so it can change. I'm usually accurate, okay? But sometimes it does change because we have free will. And I see him going to a rehabilitation, the world, and temptation, telling everybody, I've grown, I've matured, especially with the devil card. That's why I get December, around Capricorn season. Telling everybody, yeah, I'm changed, I'm a new person. The devil got me down, but I'm stronger now. Basically, like, this is what I don't really appreciate about the Black community. Not everything is about the devil and God, and I really think that it's very black and white to just put everything on religion when we have choice. We have free will. And I meet a lot of fake Christians who, and I'm not saying all Christians are fake, I'm just saying I have met a lot of fake Christians who claim to be holy. Look at Diddy, he was claiming to be Christian. Beyonce claims to be Christian, And meanwhile, what they practice is not Christianity at all. So there's a lot of fake Christians out there, and I just wish people would see through the facade. So he's going to say, yeah, he's gonna have a cross out, all that kind of stuff. But if you go very deep, and then he's going to say he's in love with a woman, he's gonna basically like not buy, let me not say that, but he's going to have this girlfriend he's going to propose to and say he's ready to settle down. He's going to put on this front of a family man who's grown, who's matured, and I believe it to be fake. Let's just say that. Okay, so let's move on to one of my favorites. I'm being facetious when I say favorites. Leonardo DiCaprio. It's very sad because I used to really love Leonardo DiCaprio, and obviously I was a lot younger, but I have said I met him 12 years ago, and he was just very creepy. I met him a few circumstances, the same way that I've met Cuba Gooding Jr. I say I met Cuba Gooding Jr. more, and I see him more than I did Leonardo DiCaprio, and Cuba Gooding Jr. honestly was a lot nicer to me. Way nicer. He's actually a very cool guy from what I could see. I know he has a lot of allegations against him, but personally, the way he's treated me, he's been a gentleman. And I'm not saying what he's been accused of is not true. Both things can be true because I have heard crazy stories, but that's just my opinion. But when I met Leonardo DiCaprio, he's not very nice. He was very creepy. I got very creepy energy. At the time, I was in a relationship, so I didn't really pay him attention. The 3 times I met him, 3 times I met him. I don't want to get too much into it because I don't believe in like divulging too much information. But he just gave me creepy vibes. He basically treated me like I can have you and I can have any other woman too. I was like, good. So let's read his charts. Sun in Scorpio, Moon in Libra, Mercury in Libra, rising in Libra. Lots of celebrities have risings in Libras. And what's his Venus? Venus in Scorpio. Whoa. I strongly believe Leonardo DiCaprio is going to get married when he's 52. I just have that energy. When he's 52, he's going to meet somebody. She is going to be a lot younger. And he's going to be married. He's going to have a child. I don't want to talk too much about children because I'm not talking about children too much. But he is going to settle down. He is. Not to the capacity that the rest of us do. But because I do think he's dealing with some serious demons. In fact, every time I met him, he always had a cap on, a baseball cap on, and a hoodie. And I was like, this is very shady. But anyways, I just remember that now. I'm like, and he was what? This was 12 years ago, and he's what, 46? How old is he? I just thought, like, this is very odd for somebody that's in his 30s. Okay, so he's 48 because he's 13. No, I'm 89. So it's 15 years older than I am. So he's 50 this year. Yeah. Whoa. Okay. But in 2 years, I promise you, I'm going to get married. Okay. So let's see. It's not to this current one. I think it's actually an actress that he's going to marry. But like I said, I got the energy. He just treated me like I can have you and anybody else, And I was like, I'm good. I don't like being treated like I'm one of many. So let's see. What is his and Diddy's relationship? He also was like, I haven't seen Diddy in a while. He was just at Diddy's 50th birthday, which I find very funny. But I suppose it depends what you consider a while. Because Cuba Gooding Jr. did say the same thing. But still love you. Okay, so what's their relationship? So basically, they're like party pals. Those kind of friends that are bachelors for life, I don't really have them. In fact, amongst my friends, I'm one of the only few that are still single. All my friends are happily married, which is good for them. But there's like those bachelor guys or women that will just stay like Sex in the City type, or what's the male version of Sex in the City? That type of 7 of wands, 4 of wands, 9 of wands. They're always gonna stay single in their eyes. That's the relationship they have. Stay single, be party buddies, kind of like they're not meant to get married. If you see a snake at the top, they're not meant to get married. They're meant to just like sliver through life. Which I got very snaky vibes from that man. No, the tracker, very snaky vibes. I did not get good vibes from him. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't know if you can tell. And it's fun. It's such a shame because Romeo and Juliet was one of my favorite movies. It was actually my sister's favorite movie growing up. She used to love that movie. So, and Titanic was one of my favorite movies too. Wow. So let's see what's the outcome of Leonardo DiCaprio in this situation. Again, I get April. He's going to release some kind of statement. And say he's just focusing on building himself now. He's not partying. A lot of them are going to be like, I'm not partying anymore. Even though some of them, I do think they have substance issues, him being one of them. The publicists are going to tell them, which I must say, I follow this journalist. She is a journalist. And she's the one that came out with the video about Blake Lively, talking about how, Blake Lively wasn't that nice to her. And actually, Blake Lively bullied her, in my opinion. But she interviewed Leonardo DiCaprio too. And he said, I love watching her videos. I'm going to write down her name. I like her a lot. She was interviewing, her name's Kirsty Fla. I don't know how you say it in Norwegian, her name, but that's her name in English. How you pronounce it in English. But she interviewed Leonardo DiCaprio, and Leonardo DiCaprio said, this is how I feel about lots of celebrities. If you don't want to be in the limelight, you don't have to be, And granted, like when I saw him, like I said, he was wearing a baseball cap and hoodie. That's a bit extreme. I feel like you're incognito. Everybody can tell you're famous, But like he said, you can always find another job if you don't want to be famous anymore. I thought that's very true. It sounds harsh, but it's true. Like some celebrities, when they're kids, I feel for them. And obviously Britney Spears, the way she was treated, the misogyny aspect of it. But for the most part, if you call the paparazzi on yourself and then you have an issue with paparazzi following you, you need to rethink your career or stop the whining, So I liked that he said that. So I see him taking I'm working on my business. I'm working on my acting. I'm taking my acting seriously. He's going to get a serious acting role to take attention away from this. And have his publicist focus on that instead of other things too. So that is what I have for you guys. Now let's move on to Jay-Z, my absolute favorite. Maybe we should leave Jay-Z for last. No, let me do Jay-Z now. I have his chart here somewhere. Okay, here we go. Here's his chart. The one who I strongly believe is going down next. Jay-Z. Mr. Carter. So does anybody really know what they meant about She Knows? I couldn't figure out what they meant about the trend She Knows. If anybody can explain to me, please. I'd love to know. I mean, just because She Knows. I thought the song was about him, J. Cole, making peace with his demons and the fact that he's dating this woman who thinks he's perfect when she really knows who he is. She's trying to act like we've all been there, where we've dated somebody or we've been that person, and we try to hide our demons from the people that we love, and they can see right through it, But anyways, that's just what I have to say. So let's look at Jay-Z's chart and what the outcome, the relationship and the outcome of this is going to be. I'm going to change decks. I'm going to use Crystal Magic Tarot. Then after this, I'm going to start that other live a little later. I'll start at 8:30. We're going to do a live a little later than I expected, but it is what it is. Okay, so Jay-Z's relationship with Diddy. I just got September as a month. Okay, obviously, I strongly have said this about Jay-Z. He can be very money-oriented. 2 of coins. Coins is money in this deck. 6 of swords and 5 coins. So their relationship's very money-oriented. I'm going to say this. I see Jay-Z's money being linked closely to illegal activity. And we're going to find out about it. You know, after dating, when I dated somebody in the music industry, he revealed a lot to me, not by telling me, but by me seeing things. And one of them was that, I don't want to tell too much because I don't want to give it away. I feel like some of it is his story to tell, even though I haven't said who it is. But a lot of these billionaires are not billionaires because of legit money. Some of it is substance. They move substances in their jets, in their planes. They're not very, it's not an honorable way of work. Let's just say that. And one of them, the connection that they have is moving substances around. I wouldn't be surprised if it's with cartels. So let's see what's going to be revealed about Jay-Z in this trial. So people are going to start to see where the money is. 8 of Swords, they're going to start tracking, the feds are going to start tracking Jay-Z. 2 of Wands, 4 coins, they're going to start tracking him. Man, I just got like intense feeling in my chest. Ten of Cups, Temperance, and 4 of Swords. So he's going to act like everything's fine. This is what I said about the video that I just did about Beyonce, Jay-Z, and Jaguar, right? Jay-Z's very good at pretending. He's very good at like, I suppose that's how he's become. And I'm not saying all billionaires are like this, because I met a lot of people with tons of money who are not morally corrupt. But in the way that he got rich, he became rich, he, I believe, has done some morally corrupt things. And he's been able to, for example, if he's questioned, he's been able to just keep like feel the heat, you know, but be able to act like everything's fine. And the biggest telltale sign is that laugh that he gives. He gives like a very, I don't know if you guys know the laugh I'm talking about. He gives like a kind of laugh. And Jaguar Wright said this the other day. She said, Jay-Z's the Joker. I don't know if you guys know this. If you watch my channel, you know I love Batman. I love, love, love Batman. And when she made the reference to the Joker being Jay-Z, I was like, that's so true. You know, the Joker has that laugh. And I'm not talking about the modern Joker, the Joaquin Phoenix, the one that everybody has empathy for. I'm talking about the one that is sinister and has done some heinous things. I believe strongly that Jay-Z has done some sinister things. And he hides behind a laugh, and he hides behind, oh, I'm making this person's dream come true. I just wanted to make their dreams come true. And he's very good at gaslighting, which Temperance card is a Sun and Sagittarius card. And a lot of Sun and Sagittarius, not a lot, let me not say that. But the shadow side of Sun and Sagittarius is that they can act like all like Joker type, like a charlatan, you know, which actually is the Joker card, which is so funny. Isn't that funny? Wow, it all comes full circle. The charlatan card in the card of decks is, I believe it's solitaire. Solitaire. I haven't played card decks in so long. But the charlatan card is the Joker, the one who's like, you know, like, look at me, I'm playing tricks. Meanwhile, I'm actually up to some heinous things, you know. So he's going to act when he's seen out with an artist. Just know that there's a story behind it. That he's either trying to dodge a story that's about to become public, or he's using that person to make himself look good. He's very calculative. Very. In fact, Jay-Z really scares me. It really, really scares me. I shudder when I think about him. Okay, so let's move on to last but not least, French Montana. And then I'll continue this next week. If you guys like this, I'll continue it next week. It's actually really fun to do. Coming up next, I will be doing the full moon energy reading and how to protect your energy, so forth. Members, you get to ask me a question, and I pull tarot for you. Otherwise, you can feel free to ask me any astrology questions. Yeah. So I'm going to put up French Montana's chart, which I don't really know anything about French Montana. I just saw, okay, Sun and Scorpio, another Sun and Scorpio, Moon and Taurus, Mercury and Sagittarius, Venus Sagittarius. Interesting. North Node in Taurus. Interesting. So, I get the energy, especially North Node in Taurus, that he is into some dubious stuff. Because the South Node is in Scorpio. I wouldn't want to cross this guy. I really wouldn't. You know, these are real thugs. Real thugs. I wouldn't want to cross him. Because he would... You know, it's so funny. I had a Scorpio ex, right? And he is famous. And honestly, if I hadn't met my ex after him, I really had thought that Scorpio ex was going to do something to harm me. I'm telling you the truth. I used to tell people all the time. People would be like, you like it? And I would tell people, this man is stalking me, you know? Why would I like that? But I was just so frustrated. And I'm going to get back to why I'm telling the story. But I was just so frustrated that he hacked my phone, you know? He did many things to me, and I'm not the victim, but I'm just saying that when people say Cassie wanted money, I never wanted anything from my ex. So personally, I can tell you that that's not always the case. He had felt like we were meant to be together, and because of that, he would, like I said, hack my phone. If I dated somebody, he would find out about it. It was a lot. And I say that to say that people would think I was crazy for saying, I was like, how would he find out that I'm dating somebody if I've only told that person, you know? He would tell me, oh yeah, I know you're dating that guy. And I was like, how would he know that? He hacked my phone. And I tell people that all the time. They're like, no, maybe this, maybe that, maybe he found out through a friend. I'm like, we had no common friends, so how would he find out? So anyways, long story short, and there's personal stories he knew about me that I had only divulged through text and so forth, you know? So I know that he hacked my phone. And it sounds obscene, it sounds crazy, but some men, especially particularly men with power and money, they think that if they see a pretty woman who they can objectify, they want to own her. And I really believe that my ex wanted to own me. It's one of the reasons I left LA. I felt towards the end very afraid he was going to do something to me. So I'm glad I left. So I say that to say the French Montana gives that same male Scorpio energy. You know, male Scorpios can be very vindictive. Vengeful, vindictive. We see that in Diddy. Let's see, French Montana and Diddy's relationship. Whoa. So I think French Montana might have been a victim of Diddy. 9 of Swords, Queen of Wands, 6 of Wands. But because he has this masculine energy, overly masculine energy, he's going to claim he wasn't and kind of suppress it and claim to own it. But I really strongly think he was a victim of Diddy. And Diddy would use him to lure women in. I get that very strongly. Page of Wands, 10 of Pentacles, and King of Pentacles. So he was answering to his master. And the master promised to make him money. He got a lot of promises from Diddy. They never really worked out. So let's see what the outcome is. Trial. Whoa. The Tower, 5 Pentacles, and the Moon. I see French Montana giving information against Diddy. 100%. It's intuitive based, but I strongly believe it. To heal. He wants to heal. He's going to just release it. Be like, I've had enough protecting this person. Yeah. He also has a woman, in his life that, or maybe man, that's not my business. But it's a feminine energy that is telling him to do the right thing. And that's going to convince him to give information on Diddy. Yeah, what a reading. This has actually been a lot of fun. Yeah. Does anybody have anything to say? I know lots of you are watching. I'm so grateful. The live chat's popping. Does anybody have anything to say before I end this? I am starting another live in about 5 minutes. I just have to use the bathroom and I'll be right back. I already ate before I started, so I don't have to eat. Does anybody have anything to say before I close this off? Any questions? Next live should be so much fun. Please join. Off topic. I'm so curious about Liam Payne. Yeah. What are you curious about? Please ask me. I feel very sad. I mean, I do have a Harry Styles video coming out about it. About Liam Payne. Well, not about Liam Payne, but Harry Styles, and I do mention it. His transits. Interesting. I'm going to let that be for now. I will revisit Liam Payne once everything has died down. I feel like people are very emotional right now. I had no idea. I saw him, because it is intuitive based and energetic. Energy-wise, I do pick up the person even if they're not on Earth. I still pick up the energy. So I can't predict deaths because I still pick up people if they are passed on, So when people don't read tarot and they don't read energies and they just look at a video, they're like, oh my gosh, you were wrong. And I don't get offended anymore. I used to when I was younger because a lot of people don't understand energies. But I did get some over emotional comments that I have deleted because I don't play that game, from fans basically saying I was wrong. And I don't believe I was wrong. It is energetic. Like I always say, it's intuitive. I did pick up a few readings ago that I saw him wanting to give up, asking what's the point, having substance issues. And I tell you guys all the time, I don't really know much about celebrities. I usually focus on housewives. That's my stuff. Love is Blind, Housewives, Love Island. I love that. So that I know a lot about. But regular celebrities, I didn't even know Liam Payne had an addiction issue until I started doing readings on him. And then I picked up very strongly. And if you've ever loved an addict, you know that you worry sometimes that they won't make it. And especially if you have somebody that hasn't made it, you feel guilty. You feel very, very guilty. So I just encourage everybody to leave the ex fiance alone because I'm sure she's having difficulty herself making peace with it. Anybody in his family, close knit friends, anybody that said anything about him, just leave them alone. I think a lot of the time when something happens, when somebody passes, we love to put blame, you know? And I was like that too. I lost a family member last year and I was putting the blame on myself and other people. Um, but you can't do that. You have to accept it. Grief goes many stages, trust me, I went through it. Sometimes I still go through it, you know? With this family member, I had, I don't want to get too much into it because I don't really like to talk about my family. But I had memories of us when we lived in a city, and I just burst out crying, you know, because I was like, I wish things could have been better. You go through it yourself when you grieve. You go through it alone, as it is in your mind. So I think all the fans, if you really love Liam, just give him and his energy space. Give the people he loved space. That includes his ex fiance because a lot of love can be messy, you know. And that's something when you love an addict, you can be angry at them and still miss them if they pass on. And you can still, you know, I've had relationships with two addicts, alcoholics. One of them is okay. He seems very happy. And the other one, which I'm very happy about because he deserves so much happiness. The other one I don't really talk to, which is fine. But I will say that a big part of the reason why a lot of people don't leave addicts, whether they're abusive or not, is because they feel guilty and they know that if something happens, they'll blame themselves. But that's no way to live life. You can't live your life in fear that somebody's going to hurt themselves. So it is unfortunately a part of life that happens, and it's not to say that oh well whatever, but I think sometimes as fans, we just need to give people space for things to settle and to heal. And that's what I'm going to do with Liam Payne. And I've always said I have a lot of empathy and compassion for him because I could feel his suffering and his energy. Um, and he just deserves, like, let's just give him peace, give his family peace, let them mourn. He has a child. So let's just let it let it settle and then we can find out. But trust me, I've lost addicts. I've been in love with an addict and not wanted to leave because I was afraid, even though it was holding me back. And he's doing fine now, but it's real. Addiction is very real, and I don't like to really talk about people that are close to me because I feel like they deserve privacy. But I'm just saying I've lost a loved one through addiction, through other ways too. But I've lost three people close to me through addiction, and you blame yourself first. You wish you'd reached out more. You wish, especially with addiction, you know, when people pass on, it doesn't really bother me. But with addiction, there's just something that, especially when they have a lot of life in them and so much potential. Um, so yeah, that's what I have for you, Sin. I hope that. Okay, yeah, but we'll talk about this soon. I just want to give it a few months, you know. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. It's just life experience. Life experience has taught me that you don't have the answers to everything all the time, and it's okay. So may he rest in peace. Yeah, may he rest in peace. And you know, sometimes with addiction, you know, I don't know, I have nothing else to say other than may he rest in peace. And if you've ever loved an addict, you know it's not easy. You don't know what to do. You don't know how to handle it. As a society, I think we need to become better at dealing with addiction and You want to blame the person. You just want them to get their lives together. I did say that in the last reading. That he has people around him frustrated, with him. And when the person dies, the frustration doesn't go anywhere. You still feel it. And it's part of the grieving process. You're allowed to be upset that the person passed on, but you're also still allowed to be mad at them for how they treated you or said something to you, Like, we are holistic people. It's not just black and white that, okay, now the person's passed on. We don't have any bad feelings for them, Like, you still probably have memories. I actually have just a quick story, but I had this, and I don't want to cry, so I'm going to try not to cry. But when I lived in LA, I had this really wonderful student, and he was a very famous actor. I didn't even know he was an actor. He was just a great guy, great guy, and he would take the specific class, not just that I taught, but the class at that time. And I used to teach Thursday mornings, and when I would teach Thursday morning 9 a.m., he would always take my class and other teachers too. I don't want to say he only took my class, but he was always so funny, and it was that student was very hard to teach because there was a lot of like movie producers, like big A-list celebrities that would come. They were not very nice, a lot of them. It was in Silver Lake in Los Angeles, so that's like a lot of by Universal Studios basically, or close to, not fine. So a lot of producers live near there. It's also near Hollywood and stuff like that. So a lot of producers, actors would go there. And sometimes I would feel like, wow, these people are so unappreciative of me teaching them class, but never him. Ever. He was always so sweet, always so kind. And I remember he told me, I don't want to cry, so I'm going to try to tell the story without crying, but he told me that he struggled with addiction. And I remember seeing that he, through my phone, that I saw that he had passed on. And it was just, when you see somebody like that, that's such a good person, it's like, it's really, really tough. So, it's really, really tough. So, just, I highly recommend giving the family space to heal, because it's not easy. And that includes his ex-fiance. So, okay, I'm going to end the slide really quickly, and then we're going to start the other live soon. So I'll see you all very soon.